So, happy 2019, everybody! Yay! I know that in my last video I said I'd be doing a Voltron animation, but, guess what movie I just watched? I know, very shocking. Just try to guess. Spider-Verse, of course. I knew you guys wouldn't have guessed it. Anywho, so, I watched it recently, and what more is there to say, guys? Like, it is a really good movie, alright? Even if you don't care about Spider-Man, watch it. At least for the animation. Just watch it. It's good, alright? So, my history with Spider-Man, it's actually, I think, it was, the only / first superhero I actually got into when I was younger. And it was, back when the original Spider-Man movies came out, you know what I mean? Like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. It was way back then. And I really loved Spider-Man when I was a kid, because they were the popular thing at the time, and, they were pretty good movies themselves. But, time goes on, my interest in Spider-Man dwindled. I did watch Homecoming, which is, it's good, I guess. But then this appeared, and at first I was like, oh, an animated movie about Spider-Man? Okay, cool. But then I found out it was made by Sony, and I didn't want to watch it. And then the trailer came up. You know the trailer I'm talking about. You all know what the trailer I'm talking about. You may not think you know, but you know. The one where... You know the trailer, right? And so when I watched it, I was legit jaw-dropped. I was like, how the hell did Sony make this? Sony, the one people who made the Emoji Movie, of all things. And then, when I actually watched the movie, I have the same questions. How the hell did Sony did this? And I'm not actually sure about this 100%, I've just heard of it, but apparently the people who made the Lego movie worked on this movie too. And if they did, guys, you're good. You're really, really good. I don't know what you're doing, but you're really good. So, yeah, there's really not much for me to say about the movie about me to criticize it. It's a really good movie. I think, one part I didn't like is, one part that everybody doesn't really like that much is, there is one scene in particular that's, supposed to be really serious, but the music they chose, and don't get me wrong, I really like the soundtrack in this movie, but the song they chose just didn't fit the scene. Oh, and I did think that the other Spider people, Penny Parker, the Pig, and Spider Noir, I think they should have come a little bit earlier in the movie, because we didn't get much, we didn't see them as much in the movie, and I wish that, it's been a bit more time with them. And if you're wondering who's my favorite out of those three, freaking Spider Noir. Don't get me wrong, Penny and Porker, I love them, they're cute and stuff, but Noir, he doesn't know what colors are. He comes from a bleak and sad world. Come on, guys. Yeah, so it's a good movie. Go ahead and watch it. And after I watched this movie, that's when I kind of realized something. It kind of sort of sparked my interest in Spider-Man again. Something I haven't been in, I kind of sort of forgot since 2010. Oh my god, it's been that long. I haven't watched the movie since, 2010? So, yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen any of them, and I kind of sort of want to watch them again. Yeah, spark my interest back, Oh yeah, and the whole subject on the animation, I am aware that some people are not really that fond of the 3D being, choppier and stuff, but in my opinion, I actually like it much better, you know what I mean? I don't know, just something about the lower frame rate makes the action a lot more smoother, and there's, this huge misconception that, more frames equals more fluid animation, which it doesn't, it just makes it smooth. But yeah, choppier frames, especially when it comes to action, just has this really quick and fast movement, and I think it really fits for this movie. And most people think that, oh, this is a stylistic choice, but in actuality, they just did that to cut costs. Who knows? Goes to show you that you don't need a bunch of money to make something look good. Sometimes, the lack of money can be your, strength or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the soundtrack. I really dig the soundtrack as well. I don't know, but hip-hop, not really my cup of tea, but for some odd reason, this just worked. This just really worked. I don't know. I really love the soundtrack in this movie. So yeah, oh yeah, and one final thing. Peter Parker. I don't know, it's just he's usually this cough cough cool teenager, you know, quick-witted or whatever in all of the other movies. But in this one, now that he's like an adult, he's like this sad ass, like, he's an ass. He's a bit of an asshole. Pardon my language, but that's the best way I can describe him. And I don't know, I like my assholes. I like my jerks. So I don't know, just seeing Peter act the way he does in the movie, at least in the beginning, not really much in the end, but in the beginning of the movie, I just thought was hilarious, you know. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Really good movie. 10 out of 10. Would watch again. If you guys, even if you don't like anything to do with Spider-Man, at least for the animation, or at least for the story too. The story's really good. That's all I got then. Bye. Also, a bit of a after video thing, but I think he kind of noticed, and I noticed it myself, but my speed paint freaking crashed, and I hate it, but it crashed, and it skipped, like, most of the coloring part, which is why it suddenly jumped to it all being all colored and stuff. So, just so you guys get an idea of how I colored it, because I did color in a slightly different way than I normally color it. I did that thing, you know, I do it on the same layer and stuff. You know, that thing. Alright, that's all I got. Bye.